Okay, hi everybody, excuse my dinner dance swag. Anyway, this is gonna be your first impressions. I think I mentioned this when I did the first episode review of Sakamoto Days. So, there's three animes in the winter that I'm doing first impressions on. This is one of them. The other two, one is a romantic comedy, and the other is a fantasy show. So, this one, called Ameku MD Doctor Detective. Now, I think I've done explored shows like this before. Now, we all remember last season there was Ro Konomashi and his Deadly Deductions, which is basically a sort of thing with Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty. This is not that. So, I've seen 3 episodes. It's kind of like that show where each episode, but the difference is each episode has to do with an illness, a disease, something that can't. So sort of like that show on TLC, Mystery Diagnosis. Same exact thing in this anime. They have a mystery diagnosis, and main character who is Ameku Tako, she has to get the explanation of what happened to the person. Now, we get 3 episodes. Episode 1 and 2 is focused on one specific diagnosis. Well, episode 1's more or less, we get introduced to her, and she comes in to just resolve 2 different diagnoses. One's a little kid, he's eating too many grapes. I know it was another guy syndrome, but I've seen 3 episodes, and literally, this is what it is. It's Sherlock, but it's a hospital. Essentially. Kudos, by the way, of who also is in this show doing voice acting. Akianu. Well, the guy who plays Akianu in One Piece. Um, Tachiki Fumiko. He plays Amiku's Ameku? I hope I'm saying that right. Uncle for the hospital. But anyway, so far from what I've seen, because the description of the show reads as follows. In Tenakai General Hospital's General Diagnostic Department, patients who are deemed difficult to treat by other doctors are collected here. From mysteries of unknown illness to murders that even the police can't handle, genius doctor Taiko Amiku reveals the shocking truth hidden behind these mysterious diseases. Now, the 3rd episode dealt with more things. It was kind of like a different scenario. But at the end of episode 1 into episode 2, we have the first case, which I don't want to spoil, but a guy comes to the hospital. The only thing I can tell you is his blood is blue. And we go through the whole diatribe of finding out how this is possible, and she finds out. But from my intake of the show, it is kind of interesting. Because you're talking about a series, it's a manga by the way, that is a mystery diagnosis. That's what it is. But she's a doctor who's not only finding out about this diagnosis of her different patients of things that other doctors can't find out, she's resolving cases for the police, which is even more baffling to a certain extent. So overall, I'm not going to rate it right now because I'm not going to rate these. The first impressions is just the first impressions. But from what I've seen, I like the dynamic. Also, I should mention, Amer is doing the opening song. And the animation is ungodly good. Like, where the hell? Where? What? Like, you look at the opening, and you look at the anime, and you're like, holy freaking shit, where did he get this animation? I was like, what? Who? What company is this? Like, where? Why all of a sudden we're going through like god tier animation levels for this anime about a doctor detective? But that's what we got. Overall, though, it's only 3 episodes, but so far from what I've seen, it's pretty good. It is actually. It is pretty good from what I'm seeing. I want to see more though. My guess is that as advertised, it's basically going to be like every 2 episodes or every episode we're going to get a case that only she can solve. They resolve it. They solve it. Yeah. But from what I'm seeing though, pretty good considering. I mean, I haven't seen many animes that revolve around Sherlock Holmes. By my count, this is the 3rd one. The first one focused more on Moriarty. And Sherlock was just there. The second one, which was the Deadly Deductions thing, and we just finished season 2 of that, is pretty good too. But this one's different because you're taking Sherlock and making him a doctor. And it's obvious because there's a guy that's with her, and he's considered Watson, which I find kind of interesting because it basically is the same kind of concept with Daily Deductions. But instead of it just a guy who's a detective, it's a girl, a woman, who's a doctor. But it comes to fruition that because a lot of these diagnostics or deductions or diagnostic, whatever you want to call it, lead into with the police. Because, as I said, some cases result in that direction. Now, I don't want to spoil too much besides what I've been just saying, but like episode 3 doesn't really go that way. It remains within the frame of being in the hospital, of what occurs. The first case was different because it was more, things were happening that resulted in police getting involved. But good first 3 episodes. I would say check it out. Definitely check out for the opening. It's ungodly animation, ungodly music being used from Amer for the opening theme. God tier. Freaking God tier. But that's all I got for you guys. And if you're wondering what the other 2 are going to be, I married classmate that I hate. And the guild receptionist, I'm not joking about this. This is what I have to do. Ooh. The guild receptionist will defeat the floor boss to avoid overtime. I'm not joking around. That one is... Whew. But also I got for you guys, check out Detective Doctor if you get a chance. It's good. It is. It's really good. I'll see you guys later.